Yeah, so when it comes to the IoT connectivity technologies that we've just described, you like in your book, you stress your book, the rise of the robot overload. You stress the point that these IoT connectivity technologies do not overlap. Uh, what do you mean exactly when you say these technologies do not overlap, and what are the implications of that fact?
Um, Simply put, I have yet to see any significant applications that you really could choose one or the other and it makes sense. Um, the problem you have is not deciding which one to use for an application. The problem is understanding what your challenge is, and then choosing the one. Usually, only one. If you have a very simple problem, maybe you can use whatever, but choosing the one that will work. My favorite analogy is with transportation,
Yeah.
and you could argue that transportation technologies overlap. A train and a car and an airplane and a bicycle and your shoes are all transportation technologies. And they all, if you're just going a simple use case, you're going from your house to work and it's close by, well, the plane might not work. But the other ones, if it's a few kilometers away, you could ride a bike, you could take a train, you could drive a car, you could ride a bicycle, you could walk. All those things do overlap for that use case. But as soon as a use case gets complicated, it starts failing very quickly. If you have to drop your kids off at school, the train's out of the question. If you have to carry uh, a bunch of things, the bike's out of the question. If you're moving, instead of just going to work, you're moving across the country, you better have a truck. You're not going to do it in a car, and you're not going to do it on a bicycle. I mean, they very quickly don't overlap if you have a complex system. And in the industrial Internet of things, especially, almost everything qualifies as a complex system, and so they just don't overlap. So you ask why they don't overlap. They don't overlap for the same reason you can't pedal a train. Um, in theory, you should be able to pedal a train with enough low friction and gear ratios and a lot of training. But in
Yeah, because
reality, you can't really pedal a train. It's too heavy and not designed for that. It's a completely different world. So um,
okay.
it's the best answer I've got for that. They're
Yeah.
different.
Okay.
They solve different problems. They don't solve the same problem in different ways. That's another way to put it.
Okay.